The Pickup Artist / Pua Guide 1. Chapter 1. The 21st Century Pickup Artist / Men's Dating Advice Industry. Blue, red, and black-pilled men, incels and white knights. I wrote this book before all this newfangled dating advice came out online. I think a lot of it is ugly, short, fat, and unattractive men angry at life and angry for being rejected by women. I'm 6 foot tall, was very muscular as a young man and got rejected by women. It happens to everyone. Women will pick at the handsome, rich guys for being shallow and stupid. I had a stranger online call me a misogynist out of the blue. I do not get involved with all this verbal sparring crap. I say don't buy into anyone else's bullshit. Live by your own true nature. The blue-pilled man is the regular, brainwashed working man who probably watches sports on TV, drinks beer, and is very materialistic. He gets married and has kids but doesn't get involved in raising them much. He's the traditional values father. The red-pilled guy probably heard of Jeff Rance, Art Bell, Coast to Coast, George Norrie and Jordan Maxwell. He says I know the human race is screwed but I take care of myself, live by own true nature and don't get involved with other people's bullshit. The black-pilled guy is the guy who's enlightened but unlike the red-pilled guy who is relatively happy, he sees a dystopian future as opposed to a utopian future. He sees that the world is screwed and thinks life sucks. There are incels, involuntary celibacy, guys who want to meet women for romance but got rejected so much that they give up on women. When I was a kid in school, there was a story about Sir Walter Raleigh putting his cape down over a puddle so that a woman could cross. Somebody said that we all watch 10,000 love movies and TV shows by the time we're 18. The white knight is the classic guy who wants to be romantic and hold the woman up on a pedestal. He's the guy who will step in if he sees someone giving a woman a hard time. I think it's a good idea but many women are ungrateful feminist bitches. After I got over my 6th girlfriend, I decided I would never be romantic again in a delusional way. I would treat all women as my intellectual equals. I wouldn't bullshit them. I think it's better to be straight up than be a phony romantic with fake ideas of chivalry. There's a hormonal thing with love. Almost no one talks about it. Men fall head over heels in love but they fall out of love just as quickly. It's hormones. You're always horny. The girl that looked really good 3 months ago all of a sudden doesn't attract you anymore. You're attracted to almost any attractive young woman. Chad, a good-looking guy in dating parlance. Chad is a handsome white guy who has rich parents, is tall and has a silver spoon in his mouth. He's not a handsome guy from the ghetto. A Chad is the guy whose parents bought him a sports car for high school. He always wore the most fashionable clothes. He probably played sports. His father paid for everything and drove him to all the games unlike me who paid for my own hockey gear and walked to the rink. Blacks call him Tyrone. Asians call them Chang. Arabs call them Abdul. Try this YouTube info. Vob 2, women h at T-pound when non-good-looking guys approach. FACE and LMS. reddit.com/r/niceguys/comments/3k9x1a/nice_guy_and_chad. reddit.com/r/thirdpill/comments/4xakz1/thoughts_on_chad. With the ease of dating websites, women don't want to be approached by unremarkable guys. There is a multi-million-dollar dating advice pickup artistry industry but some people say it's all bull. A woman intuitively knows if she likes a guy. She'll move closer to him. Women don't like creepy guys trying to come onto them in public. Most relationships in real life happen through mutual friendship/relative introduction. Getting to know someone at work or school. The lesson is don't be an asshole and try to pick up women like a jerk. You can smile and say hi. If she doesn't smile and respond, don't push it. The guy at YouTube Faciandolms created a fake dating profile that proved looks are very important. At the YouTube video. VOV 1.1, the red pill on what attracts women, looks, money, Status, brutal. The guy puts up a fake dating profile at pof.com of a picture of a male model, then makes himself as rotten as possible when texting with women. The women still like him and give him their phone numbers. So that's the truth. Don't sugarcoat it. Women are attracted to looks even though they try to act all liberal and open-minded, saying they want a guy with a good personality. Chapter 2. The Modern Man Looking for Love in a Digital World. What's wrong with MGTOWs and incels, involuntary celibacy? Tao is a man going his own way. It's not that he can't find a woman to be his girlfriend. It's just that he has probably been used by women before for money, time, and other favors like driving her around, etc. to get little in return, much less love or even sex. Sex without love can be mundane. A guy decides, I'd rather be single, take care of myself, save my money and use my time doing what I want, not catering to some female who is more in love with her cell phone than with me. An incel is a guy who wants a girlfriend but can't find one, probably because he's fat, ugly, poor, stinky, etc. Women go out with fat guys who treat them well. A lot of alpha males won't submit to a girl and be her little bitch boy, so they end up single because they're too macho to defer to a woman, even a little bit. Some guys want to be free. It's simpler to do what you want, watch porn when you want, live like a slob and get high when you want without some woman bothering you all the time. There's nothing wrong with choosing to be single, but if you want romantic love, get a spine. Don't be a wimp. A lot of Western young women are screwed in the head, massively brainwashed by pop culture, fashion, and capitalism. They're living in a digital illusion through smartphones, TV, radio, etc. All these snotty young women get older, realize they're not hot stuff anymore, then get desperate. I've been rejected a number of times when I was a young guy looking for love. They were females toying with me with their newfound sexuality and power over men. It doesn't mean there are not good women out there. There are. You have to find them, the women who go past the crap in pop culture and actually try to do something with their lives as individuals. There are plenty of them. They're not on Tinder rejecting guys left and right. They're working, going to school, or otherwise doing something worthy and positive. Real people don't live in the digital world. There is a real world right outside your door. You choose to either walk out your door and engage with the world, or sit in a room, sulk, and listen to all the losers on YouTube putting women down. Nobody likes a crybaby. Watch some of these guys with their mtao, red-pilled, incel YouTube channels. They're wimps in real life. Get a job. Go out and do something. Why should any female be attracted to some brooding nobody who thinks the world owes him a living and thinks he should have chicks coming to his door because he thinks he's so fabulous and profound? Women want a good friend. If you're too absorbed in your pathetic life, screw you. If you want love, you have to actually go for it, like you're going for a job or a career in something. It's not a passive process. It's active. The woman wants the man to make an honorable move for her. Watch the 1955 movie Marty for free at streamm4u.com. I watched Marty again after 20 years. Nothing has changed. Marty is hanging out with his loser friends. He meets a nice girl. They call her a dog. In the last scene, he's hanging out with his loser friends again, they're talking shit, he says screw you and goes over and dates the girl. He's happy. He found love. Screw them. What a classic great movie about the plight of the average guy in trying to find a woman, especially if he's pressured by his family to find someone and get married. It's the same old story. The dialogue is great. Two lonely people looking for love. Screw the rejections. Be an upstanding guy who earns money and pays his own way. Be out in public. Be nice. Don't sell your soul to the world, Romans 12:2. That's the only real way to meet someone barring online dating. Nothing has changed in the dating game. 1. Young people are using Tinder, Match, eHarmony, Alt, Flirt, Fling, etc. The only truly promiscuous people are gays like at Grindr. The heterosexual community is still as fumbling, insecure and self-conscious as ever. Young people sext anonymously to learn about dating and sex and for fun and ego, but real-life dating and sex are still as scary as they always were. The Second Life adult gaming avatar stuff has some fans, but it's still fake. It's not real-life dating or sex with a real person. Almost everybody still seems to want monogamous love. I've watched a lot of YouTube mtao, men going their own way, and incels, involuntary celibacy, videos. Just because you get rejected doesn't mean you're not enough. Every guy gets rejected, even the richest, hunkiest stud on the planet. It's part of the human mating game. I never let my rejections make me think less highly of myself. I was always thought I was a great guy. I still do. You can't let the opinions of others influence your life at all. You have to think you're a rock with an immovable true nature/soul, then everything else is gravy, even love. Everything in life is individual. As you get older, you realize all these sweeping ideas out there mean nothing next to your day-to-day life, so if you want to fall in love with someone, you have to put yourself out there where you're, at the very least, out and about around people rather than hiding away in a room somewhere. Young people in general are insecure and scared of life, acting large and in charge, all wanting to learn about sex and love, all with brainwashed, preconceived notions. A lot of young women think real life is the same as the glittery life they see on TV, so they think they're too uppity for most local guys until several years pass, they realize they aren't getting any younger and guys are avoiding them because they're bitches, then they try to soften up, bite a leopard can't change its spots. Most young people want to learn about having sex with others. Many don't want to live alone as individuals. Almost all young people believe that falling in love and being in a monogamous relationship will dramatically raise their state of happiness forever, but it won't, as I discuss in my love book. You have to live through it to see that hormone levels always go down. Many people are afraid of being alone. Virtually all females want to be loved. Many guys feel a need to be partnered up. I don't know if it's cultural pressure, loneliness, the fear of being alone, the need for intimacy, the want for a soft voice, etc. But times have changed since my day for men in dating, because now we have lots of mtao, men going their own way, and red-pilled YouTube channels, which is a response to the Me Too feminist movement, where men say I'm not going to bother trying to date women. I'll live a decent life alone as an individual. I cover this in my man book. With online dating, a girl can reject 300 guys on Tinder immediately, then text the cute guy who is probably the same as most handsome, muscular young guys. They got big egos, they try to play women for sex, and they're probably not solid, working guys with a skill bringing home a decent paycheck. Women slowly learn this. As they age, their looks go and they are replaced as the prime divas in the dating world by fresher younger females, so they change from looking for a cute guy to looking for a nice guy with a steady job, even if he's not an alpha male bad boy. People don't learn from the previous generations. They learn from their own mistakes. Despite the technology in dating, it all comes down to face-to-face chemistry, good manners, and being nice. I was raised a traditional Catholic. I know what the virtuous woman is according to Proverbs 31. I don't want some skank chick thinking she's all that with colored hair acting like some diva from a music video. Nothing has changed. After the facade, you want a solid, humble, wholesome friend who lives in the real world, not in some fantasy pop culture world. Another thing that gets me about dating is the traditional chase of the man chasing the woman. I think it's wrong for a woman to play coy, hard to get, or lead a guy on then reject him when he asks for a date. A lot of young women toy with their budding sexuality to abuse men in this way. Of course, nobody ever talks about it. All we hear about is stalking, which should be expected because many love movies are about the guy initially getting rebuffed, then he continues to go after the girl and gets her. If you, as a woman, is romantically interested in a guy, don't play him. Help him along. You can suggest that you should get together or do something together. Make it easy for a guy to approach you and ask for a date. That's probably the greatest, most underrated tip to women about dating ever. Nothing has changed in the dating game too. I read Ovid's Art of Love from 2000 years ago, which talked about how to look good, be nice, and meet chicks in the marketplace. Men have always wanted to have sex with women and even live with them. This book is not a philosophical discourse about men being either naturally monogamous or sexual sluts. It's about people who want to connect with other people either because they feel lonely and want a mate, or they want money, sex, excitement, etc. Plenty of people claim to be players. There are people selling artificial techniques on how to meet the opposite sex, which all come down to one thing: make a move, be more confident. People pay lots of money for this crap out there supposedly teaching you how to meet people. There is plenty of stuff on YouTube. They call them PUAs, pickup artists. None of it works because a woman has got a guy pegged within 2 seconds of seeing him for the first time. Even though women say they want funny, nice guys with personality, they really want tall, handsome, muscular guys with money. Don't underestimate money as prime motivator for women in dating after their naivete of looking for cute guys wears off at about the age of 25. The first rule of enlightenment is screw the world, I'm gonna be myself. If someone doesn't like me for that, I don't care. I've seen some ridiculous stuff in the name of pickup artistry like neurolinguistic programming/NLP. If you try to fake it, it never works in the long run. I have the wisdom of age, which gave me lots of experiences which I analyzed. I now understand money has a lot more to do with dating success than anyone wants to acknowledge. If you got money, you can attract lots of beautiful, young women. It doesn't mean it's love, but do not underestimate the materialistic power of our capitalist, celebrity culture. I don't know how many of the gold digger pranks on YouTube are staged, but money can buy you all the fair weather friends you want. Old men can find young women. There are plenty of sugar daddy websites. We're taught that women are romantic fools. That might be true for naive teens, but as soon as a young woman sees that life is about paying bills, she gets practical real fast. She wants a guy with bread over that sensitive starving artist, but you'll never see that in a love movie. They're all about the woman supposedly going with her heart. In the real world, a woman wants comfort. She'll take the ugly, boring guy with money over the narcissistic guy who thinks he's a great artist. The art of flirting and seduction is always fumbling because you're putting yourself out there and it's easy to get rejected. There are young, insecure women purposely going on Tinder to reject guys to make themselves feel better. A lot women reject guys then end up alone because they're bitches at heart. Young guys are gullible, but you can't hide who you really are for long, so the good girls end up with decent guys and the snobby ones get their justice in the end. Cold, pretty bitches usually end up alone. True love is about two people or animals being sincerely nice to each other. I don't understand all this crap going around like the no more Mr. Nice Guy thing. If someone doesn't treat you nicely, you leave. It's that simple. You don't make a big deal about it and proclaim men's rights. Everything is individual. They're trying to pretend there's a men's activist movement about not cowering down to women. An enlightened person doesn't cower to anyone, but you have to meet them halfway. If you abandon traditional Christian values of love, you will not get love. Relationships are not tit for tat, what have you done for me lately? It's about the spirit of love. If you don't feel mutual love, why bother going through a caricature of a relationship, which I did as a young man, but I learned. Everything is simple. It's about spirit. If you don't feel it, don't waste your time. Just be a decent person. If someone doesn't like you for that, be cool enough to walk away. Don't be desperate for a relationship. I'm at the age where I have had enough experience to know that love is a mental illness. The raging hormones always go down with any person you might be smitten by, but this book is not about that. It's about meeting someone and starting a relationship. I watch the TV dating shows and see the young people desperately looking for love. They don't know what I know, but everybody has to live their own lives. We're massively brainwashed to think that a relationship will magically elevate our lives. Maybe it does for a few people, but I have always lived alone in my head. I'm accountable to earn my own sense of self-respect no matter what is going on outside of me. When you get to sex, that's a primal thing that has a whole other big layer of self-consciousness to it. You're supposed to do it with love, in a romantic haze. Relationships and love have a friendship component which has nothing to do with sex, but we're expected to make seductive moves, so a lot of people go the way of imitating what they think is cool and right rather than letting the love and passion unfold naturally. If you want love, be straight about it. I've seen at least 4 big disconnects in the mating game that have gone on all throughout human history. The first is that many people are looking for some magical person that they think is going to do something for them rather than looking at themselves to see whether they are a worthy contender to attract this high-quality person they're looking for. The second is the delusions people build up in their minds for scraps of love. I heard a story on the radio about a middle-aged woman who fell in love with a photograph of a guy online who turned out to be a scammer from Nigeria. Firstly, she sent him all her money, then took a plane to Europe to supposedly meet him. She has been missing for 5 years. She's dead, a victim of her own delusions and a scam. The third delusion is that women want pure love. In a fantasy world, women want dreamy love with a tall, dark, rich, handsome youthful man who will love them exclusively forever. I was looking at activist art, which is basically cynical drawings people make about how screwed up the world is. One drawing was a woman kissing a man. The comic strip dialogue above her head showed that she was thinking about this guy as economic security while he was thinking of love. Women marry for practical reasons way more than they marry for love. The supply of dreamboat guys is limited. The supply of ugly, nerdy, overweight guys with decent jobs is plentiful. The fourth delusion is this Albert Camus thing about existentialism. We're all loners no matter what. Even the closest among us are universes apart. You have to figure out how to earn self-respect and feel good about your life day by day alone as an individual. A lover won't do it for you. I was young and naive once. I thought if I met the right girl I would be happy forever. This is the way I was taught to see life, but it's a lie. There are many lies they tell us to try to get us to get married and have children, but the truth is that you'll always be alone and you should make peace with that first before you attempt love and romance, because if you don't, you'll always be messed up regardless of who you're paired with. Then there are hormones. No matter how passionate and infatuated you get with anybody in that manic phase of love, it always goes down. In 6 months, you'll be looking at other attractive women with lust in your thoughts. It's nature. I'm the same man I was at 16 years old. Any attractive young woman gives me a sexual tingle when I look at her. Society sells us monogamy. I know you don't want to be lonely, but at least go in with a clear head without delusions. Be real without acting like a player who thinks he or she's got that awful word called game, which is a synonym for being phony and doesn't work unless you want someone for flash, which is usually money for men, and external beauty for women, which fades with age, which is why the young, vain beauties get desperate as they pass 30 and the new generation of fresh, young things topples them off the beauty pedestals everywhere. A worthy mate / kindred spirit / soulmate is looking for your essence as a person. Present yourself as who you are in your true nature, the way God created you, and if people reject you for that, that's good, because you want someone you can be real with who loves as you really are. Everyone fakes it in the love game to some extent. When you're putting your best foot forward, it's not who you are all the time. Real life is fatigue, despair, body odor, etc. It's a fine balance trying to be real without coming off like a selfish glutton, which we all are deep down. Aging makes the dating game a lot more real. I still watch those dating / bachelor shows even in these times, with all our seemingly sophistication spawned by the internet age, with oodles of knowledge available at our fingertips, and I see these naive guys thinking one woman is going to magically transform their lives. Everybody is ultimately a loner regardless of how much love you get from other people or animals. Love cannot solve the problem of an empty soul. You have to make peace with yourself first, then maybe love will enhance your life somewhat, but to seek love to fulfill inner emptiness always fails, because that empty feeling will still be there unless you realize God made you who you are, honor Him by doing something worthwhile with it. I will leave a discussion of this issue for my other love and sex books. Suffice it to say that romantic love truly is a mental illness brought on by hormones, which always goes down as the hormones subside, but you have to learn these things for yourself by experiencing them in the real world. The first rule that everyone knows but nobody talks about is the first look. Everybody has natural intuitive judgment every time they encounter another human being. You can't fake it. I watched one case on a TV series called First Dates, where the guy was basically a 48-year-old tall nerdy-looking guy with glasses. The woman was kind of overweight, not a lot to look at, but she wanted some cool-looking guy with money, and this guy wasn't it. It was doomed from the first second. They both knew it. The golden rule for aging is that the older people get, especially women, the more likely they are to abandon their pop culture dreams of fascinating fictional handsome monogamous millionaires in exchange for a nice person who treats them well and seems peaceful, happy, and easygoing. It's a change from fantasy delusions to real life that usually happens in the dating world only with age. All young people have fantasy delusions about finding some fantastic person, but in real life, the way someone lives every day is the real test. Delusions of money and beauty fade in the face of how a person deals with life all the time, day by day. A beautiful girl or a guy with money don't mean much if they're horrible people who don't know how to live peacefully, earn self-respect, and have a sense of inspiration about themselves. Being a slut causes shame deep down. John Doe, the porn star, hangs himself in a closet at 44. Go on YouTube, type in Randy Spears testimony. This guy finally admits that what he did was shameful. The world says it's liberating to be slutty. First of all, it's dangerous in several ways, not just STDs. Prostitutes rob their johns all the time, some with guys who kill them. It's natural to want to experiment with love and sex, but there are many stupid things people have done to try to get sex. Was it worth it? I don't think so. In the Bible, 1 Corinthians 6:18 says, "Flee from sexual immorality." If you're on a date and you see bad behavior that crosses the moral line of wholesome goodness, don't waste your time. Leave as quickly as possible. There is honor in stating straight up that this date isn't going anywhere, let's just cut it off now. Bad dates that won't make good spouses. Run away from these types of people. A person who talks about sex on a date in a casual way. It shows sleaziness. A secretive person who doesn't want to talk much about regular things or open up. They could be hiding the fact that they're married, have a criminal mind, anger, etc. Straight vanity, egotism, blatant narcissism, arrogance. If people say ridiculous falsehoods about themselves and seem insensitive to others, they're psychopaths, which is a lot more common than the psychobablists say. The psychobablists say about 5% of us are psychopaths. I believe virtually all of us have psychopathic traits. After all, we're evil according to the Bible, which I believe. Takers who never give, they always want something for nothing, even if it's just your time to listen to them. Pettiness, triviality, tit for tat. A guy not willing to pick up the entire bill on a date. Somebody who keeps bringing up something stupid you did. People who are nitpicking nags who make a big deal out of small stuff, like if you're at a restaurant and your date complains, it's not worth it. It's just food. Control freak wants to know where you are, wants to always feel above you, better than you, wants you to be the submissive doormat pleaser. There are people around who try these tactics on people until they find someone who is gullible enough to fall for it. The person who has a job, hobby, addiction, or passion that is more important to him or her than you. This could be the workaholic, the alcoholic, or the artist more interested in their own thing rather than a meaningful relationship. Beware of bohemian creative types who see the world as their oyster and have no sense of monogamous commitment. They'll woo you and sleep with you but will never commit to you. People who are obsessed with frivolous things for entertainment, like a guy playing games, watching TV, always on social media, always on your cell phone, always going to bingo, etc. Somebody who comes late for a date, is cheap, lies, breaks promises, etc. then always has a lying excuse. People who are friends with scuzzball, negative people like a guy hanging around with his buddies always getting high, or the girl with her jealous friends and mother who are always manipulating her to suit their ends. The best relationships come from people similar to each other. Opposites don't attract. If you're dating someone who is not like you, chances are it will not last. Some people like to argue because it gives them an emotional connection, but people in love shouldn't need to argue because everything is minor next to love. If you want marriage, children, and a home life, and the person you're dating says they don't want kids but wants to live a fun, free life, don't waste time on that person. People who blame anybody or anything for their sadness. Chapter 3. The Pickup Artist / PUA Guide 1. What's all this hype with dating coaches? I've been on YouTube looking for interesting people talking about new interesting things about sex for this book. I've come across at least 30 people, men and women alike, calling themselves dating coaches. They all looked like they were maybe 25 years old tops. To me it seems funny. You got some kid calling him or herself a dating expert. Where is the experience? There's nothing much to the art of dating except having guts. You don't force yourself on anybody with cheap gimmicks. Live and interesting, inspired life doing hard things to earn self-respect. Women and men in your area will be attracted to you. If you can't wait for interesting people to come your way naturally, go on Tinder, OkCupid, POF, and some of the paid dating websites. That's it. You don't try to score in awkward situations. Nobody is that dazzling, at least to me at my age, that they would stop me cold on the street and flood my sensations so much that I would have to make a play. If there's a mutual love at first scenario anywhere, you both know it. There is no pickup. You just go over and say we should go out. If you naturally attract women because of your look and movements, they will smile at you. You don't, there is not a lot you can do. You can clean yourself, groom, wear nice clothes and be pleasant, and that's it. If you want to act like a playa or skin dog and approach women who are minding their own business, you will get dates if you do it enough, but if a girl is interested in you anywhere, they all intuitively know what to do. They get close to you, look at you and smile. You don't need a dating coach to tell you artificial stuff. If you got game, the girls smile, get in front of you, talk to you. You got these cornball guys trying to sell their dating coach junk with these videos on YouTube. I don't know if their pickup and flirting scenarios are staged or not. Why do young guys feel they have to have the ability to stop stranger women on the street to make nervous small talk? It's not cool or suave. You're imposing on them. They're afraid of some bozo on the street approaching them. A woman has the power. She's allowed to approach you, but you're not allowed to approach because women are naturally wary of strangers. Women get abducted and groped all the time. If these guys are making real street videos, they're using them under false pretenses, pretending to be attracted to them to shoot some stupid YouTube video to pretend they're a cool motherfucking badass player. The average guy is looking for a wife. He doesn't need some artificial confidence and some artificial dating method given by a phony dating coach to go after anything that moves with forced small talk. He lives his life as well as he can and plays it cool until he sees someone worthy. He doesn't try to hit on random girls just because it's supposed to be the cool thing to do. It's really in the look, no matter what anybody says. Look like a strong, muscular lean man, a lean man, or simply look like a respectable guy. No amount of goofy smiles and humor is gonna beat that. Everybody says make her laugh, make her laugh. If you're a nerd, make her laugh and she'll go out with you. You're right. Ha, 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 the world is going to hell but we're gonna laugh like idiots. Ha, ha, ha. There's the British girl with the fat face calling herself a dating coach. In all her videos, her tits are pretty well hanging out. What's she selling? Buy her stuff and she'll tell you to be confident, relaxed and make em laugh. Oh yeah, don't forget to shower and put on some cologne. There's Marnie at Ask Men and at Marnie Your Personal Wing Girl on YouTube. She says she's been a dating coach for 10 years. She looks like a kid to me. Check out the guys at TripAdvice and Charisma Matrix on YouTube. TripAdvice interviews several other dating coaches on his YouTube channel. These guys claim to be experts at life. Young people seem so concerned about things older people don't care about. It's not about image, it's about being who you really are in all its gusto and intensity. This Charisma Matrix guy seems to be an expert on high-status men. Why doesn't he just focus on being a stellar human being rather than thinking he's got everybody's motives all figured it out? Why the pickup artistry/pua guide doesn't work. 1. Online quote from the rusehv.com website comments section. Go for the drunk sluts. Alcohol is the number one ingredient. The next step is being direct and going for the kiss. After that, be direct and take her to your room. If she goes, hula, if not, next. There it is, now pay me $20 for the advice. It doesn't work because they teach you crap that is artificial to the real you. An alpha male simply does what he does in life. Women are secondary and incidental. I don't know what loneliness is. I think at least part of is the culture telling you to be paired up. I fell in love a number of times, but I always fell out of love when the hormones went down. I couldn't stay in a monogamous relationship because I was too primal. Paul Gauguin said, I am savage in spite of myself. My sex drive has always been high. I release my sexual energy by myself without wasting time and money chasing skirts. In a Christian alpha male world, you are who you are by birth. You live it out. If you come across someone worthy enough, you marry and have kids if you're up to the hard work it takes to be a good husband and father. Other than, shut up and enjoy your life. Recently, somebody picked up my cat and thought it was homeless. The volunteer guy at the animal shelter was a skinny Indian guy with glasses. I respect that guy for helping me, for doing something worthy. He will find a girlfriend and a wife if he wants one because he's doing something good. If you're desperate for a woman, do something good. Join a church, volunteer at an animal shelter. Don't read bullshit stuff about being a pua. It's all fake shit. It's the same with all the MGTOWs, incels and red-pilled guys. Don't bitch about women. Every enlightened guy knows that people are all individual. I can meet 10 bitcha women than a good one. All that matters to me is the good one. Don't let this phony puumtao industry manipulate you. Be the decent person you are and live your life being decent, not a hateful asshole. Here is a comment I found on the rusehv.com website. Pua is laughed by normal people at B/C. So many men pay $$ for outlandish advice on gaming women and then froth with misogynistic rage when the sluts and bitches don't put out as promised. Both women and men practice natural game. Men do it when they've been graced with good social learning and high ego through their developmental stages. This is especially true of more attractive males. They learn how to treat women in an offhand manner. No one gets angry at natural lady killers or playas. OTOH, a guy that buys a book to mimic these behaviors is considered scum. And people did this before the spending of money for the advice occurred. People either naturally learn game or have it taught to them by male friends, and then go slay pussy and call those who don't put out bitches. Why the pickup artistry/pua guide doesn't work too. Don't be fake. Don't use pua techniques. Don't carry misogynistic views. Don't be awkward. Just be yourself. Be honest. Don't try to be something you're not. Casanova was considered a great lover because he befriended women. He wasn't some steroid stud who went around screwing chicks who thought he was the bomb. He was a friend. Be nice. If someone tries to make you their slave, don't hang around for a cheap relationship. Leave. Be a masculine male. Do your work and whatever inspires you. That should be enough to get worthy females attracted to you. Women aren't some confusing mystique to understand. They're like men. They span the spectrum from femme fatale to decent people. Don't try to be exciting or some caricature of what you think a cool guy is. Watch the 1955 movie Marty. It's about a normal guy looking for a girl. He's honest with her. They have a connection. They both want love. People like you when they first see or get to know you or don't. It's about who you are. All this crap about being persistent doesn't work. These days, you can get arrested for stalking or harassment. Ask once and if rejected, walk away. Have value in yourself as a decent guy going through life. Listen to the stories at unshackled.org. They encourage you to be real. Don't deal with BS. What is confidence other than being yourself? Pua hate. These are people like women and enlightened guys who say pickup techniques don't work. The girl has it all figured out in one look. There are exceptions. I knew a girl who intuitively liked a certain guy, but another guy was so nice to her that she married him and said, "Screw up, Mr. Arrogant good-looking asshole with a loser life." Love is a combination of everything. Most people fall on love or get into relationships after the age of 25 with the people they get to know over time at work or in some other situation. It's not a dazzling love at first sight thing. Most people are not dazzlingly beautiful in a physical way. Most relationships happen when people with average looks get to know each other over time. Pickups on the street rarely happen. People mostly meet through people they know. Puolingo.com/pua-hate. Reddit.com/r/pua-hate. Women pre-select the guys they want for sex and love, that's why pua rarely works. Try this YouTube channel. Fashiondolms. Try this video on YouTube. Dumpster fire, 140,418, confidence vs looks. Try this website. Reddit.com/r/pua-hate. These people tell the truth. Women intuitively know who they like. It's generally tall, good-looking, fit guys. Beyond that, all the psychobabble, pickup artistry, schemes and tricks are junk. This guy at Fashioned LMS shows some videos of so-called pickup artists failing because they're short or unattractive. Conversely, if you're tall and good-looking with a good body, most girls will lean in and smile at you. Love attraction is natural but also develops over time. You can have a strong hormonal mutual love at first experience. It happens to some people sometimes, usually with younger people, less with age because you're not good looking anymore and get more cynical as you age. Most relationships that end in marriage build slowly over time. They don't start with strong attraction. They might start with mild attraction, but they build because people get to know each other and get emotionally attached. This is why nerd doctors marry pretty nurses. They get to know each other. Male qualities are supposedly dominance, humor, unpredictability, adventure, strength, sexual awareness. Women are attracted to masculine men. Men and women test each other. With a pet, it's pure love. With people it's like that song "What Have You Done For Me Lately?" Love is conditional. People want reciprocity for energy, time, and money expended. At the beginning of a relationship, people are scared and looking for ways to eliminate you. They test you to see how far your love will go. With a cat, you simply know he loves you. With people, you're always wonder. Is he bored of me? Did she see someone better out there? There are no guarantees. Pick up women or men. Look good. Have money. Have a car. Be generous. Be generous with time. Spend time with them. Talk to him or her. Be positive. Reveal your real value to him or her, how you can help them in a practical way. Become useful. Become emotionally attached. Connect emotionally. Be a nice person right now. Have a good vibe. Focus on being a righteous person in the relationship. Be nice. What some guys hate about modern women. Very insecure. Want to own a guy. Hooked on their smartphone. Too much emphasis on fashion and pop culture. No scope of reality like the need for money, a skill, etc., at least for younger women. Overweight or anorexic. Obsession with weight. Obsession with their hair. Impressed by some rap star over a doctor. Try to be frivolously cool. Too many stupid female magazine websites with stupid ideas. Don't know practical things like how to cook. Idolize teen idol pop stars. Don't know how to be naturally sexy. Have unrealistic standards of meeting a rich, handsome, muscular guy who will worship them and be monogamous, a Chad. It's the Cinderella, Prince Charming dream. I saw it at Disney World on a New Year's Eve, Prince Charming and the princess at Disney Castle. They think having a so-called professional job means they're a good catch. Men basically want a true friend, not an uppity bitch who thinks she's all that. Wear ridiculous clothes thinking it's fashionable. They are sheep who get sucked into stupid entities like Eat, Pray, Love, Twilight, The Secret, 50 Shades of Grey. They have tattoos, that's not ladylike. Date multiple guys at the same time. Go on Tinder to reject guys to build up their egos. Selfish and materialistic. Caught up in the meta movement, hating on men. Seem to living in an online reality as with social media accounts. Swore a lot. Act like liberals saying save the environment while spending loads of energy on useless things like makeup and clothes. Whiny and annoying. Watch way too much TV like a lot of men. Use tanning machines which are dangerous. Junk food pigs. Care more about a career than raising a family. Have deluded ideas of what high class is. Uncomfortable in their own skin. No intellectual curiosity. Talk too much.